Hi friends! So I am newish to SketchUp. Luckily you guys have Mr. A, but I want to walk you through how I would draft the theater space at Atwater Village Theater, which is your next project in SketchUp. So for this week you will draft the theater space, Atwater Village Theater, and you will submit that as a prelim at the end of class. So that's our project. Some of you got started on this last week, and now this one is so you can skip to wherever you were. This will be my second time trying it, so maybe I'll be better than in the video that Mr. A has from before. So to go to SketchUp, we start by typing in edu.sketchup.app. So that'll take you to the student version, which you have. You'll need to make sure you're logged in to the right Google account, as always. And then the other thing that you're going to do, and I'll go ahead and do that while SketchUp is loading, is you're going to go to the modules. Modules. We'll go to the one for this week, SKP, Scenic Rendering for Red Ink, Prelim, Atwater Village Theater Walls. You're going to download this PDF of the AVT walls. We're going to just download the whole thing. Boom, like that. And this document has all of the measurements you will need to draft the theater. So for me, it's now popped over into my external monitor. Oop, I'm signing in with Google. Thank you. Which Google? CSArts Google. Thank you. It's going now. Okay. So my theater walls drafting popped over to the other monitor. If you live in a house with a printer, get someone to print that for you because it will be helpful, right? Then you can look at it while you're drafting. Otherwise, you'll just have to hide it behind the tab and kind of reference it as you go. So the first thing we're going to do once SketchUp opens, SketchUp for Schools, we're going to create a new file. We're going to use the feet and inches template. Thank you, thank you. We're going to name it AVT Theater Walls. That's great. Okay, here we go. AVT Theater Walls. Here we are. It wants a folder. I'm going to put it in my SKP drafting projects. Select that folder. Saving, saving, saving. Okay, great. So now I'm going to start drawing in my theater space. And I'm going to start at the origin. I'm going to grab my rectangle tool, click into that origin, and the first dimension I'm going to need is going to be for this bigger rectangle. So I'm going to draw that rectangle first, and then I'm going to add on this little one, okay? So for this rectangle, the dimensions that I need are 18 foot 1 1/8 inches by 36 foot 0 inches, all right? So I'm going to type that in once I've clicked in here. So my first click locks me in there, and then I just type. Maybe I have to select this window. There we go. Now I just type 18 foot, is it 0, 1 1/8 inches, and then I use a comma to separate that, and 36 feet, and I hit enter, and now I have that theater rectangle. I'm going to do the same thing up here for that little rectangle, which is 18 foot 0 1/8 by 4 foot 8 1/4. So let's go ahead and type that in. 18 foot 0 1/8 inches by 4 foot 8 1/4. 8 1/4 inches. Boom. Okay, so now I've got those two rectangles. Great. I'm going to get my cursor again. And the keyboard shortcut to do that is the space bar, believe it or not. And then I can delete that. And now you'll notice you pick up that it's one big piece of floor. Great. Okay. Okay. So I aborted that mission. Now I'm back, ready to make it all happen. All right. I got my keyboard shortcut reference sheet so that I can be smarter and know what the heck is going on. All right, so I'm gonna hit the space bar. That brings me back to my pointer tool. And now I'm going to use the offset tool to create the outline for the walls that's going to go all the way around the outside. So the offset tool, the keyboard shortcut is F, or you can find it in here with the push-pull tool, okay? So we're going to grab the offset tool. We just need to select the thing that we're offsetting from. And then, oops. So we just want to select it. Offset tool. Yeah, there we go. Pull it in the direction. So I'm holding down with my mouse, pulling in the direction I want to go, and then I just type in how far I want to go. And when I hit enter, it creates that offset area, okay? So this is now going to become the walls of this theater space. I'm going to use my push-pull tool, which is right over here. Push-pull tool. Let me look up what that is for you, dreamers. It's P. That's obvious. Push-pull tool, P is your keyboard shortcut. All right, we're going to pull it up here. This theater is 16 feet high. It's a thing that I didn't tell you. It's not in the drawing, but it's the facts. So 16 feet. When I hit enter, now I have some 16-foot high walls. Excellent. I'm going to grab the orbit tool with the O keyboard shortcut. Okay, I can zoom in and out by rolling on my scroll wheel. I can also grab the orbit tool if I'm in spacebar, puts me back in my pointer tool. I can grab the orbit tool by pushing down on the center mouse button, okay? So what used to give you the hand tool in Vectorworks gives you the orbit tool or flyover tool equivalent in SketchUp. Okay, so that's the theater with the walls. That part is done. Now we want to add in a couple of things that are going to help us make it more friendly for our 3D model. So one of the things that I definitely want to do is turn off these two outside walls sometimes, like whenever I'm doing a rendering, so I can actually see through them into the theater space. The way I'm going to do that is over here in your sidebar, right? So if it's the very beginning and you have no sidebar open, okay, you're going to pop open your entity info over here and then your tags, okay? You don't need the solid inspector. We'll hide that for now. So entity info and tags. So entity info is like object info. Tags is the SketchUp equivalent for like layers or classes. There's only one thing and it's called tags. So the way that tags works is if I want to select something like these two outside walls, I think I'm going to definitely want to turn those off. I'll also turn off the inside walls, but let's do these two first. I'm going to create a specific tag for that. I'm going to call it, it's going to be tag 1. Let's call it alternate walls, or you can just type in alt walls, hit enter. And then I come over here where it says what's your current tag, and I choose alt walls, then I can turn it off, okay? Now I'm seeing inside of this wall to the other surface, so I'm going to just select by holding shift and adding things, these other parts and pieces, okay, that I don't want to have turned on all the time. Maybe I'll leave that weird thing, that weird surface on the top still, but I'm going to just turn off a bunch of these other lines. Okay, so now I'm going to also tag these things as alternate walls, and now I have this portal, this kind of window inside, so I can see into my theater space. Great, okay. So the next thing I need, if we come back over here and look at this drawing, okay, so the way we're looking at it is actually, okay, so we're looking into this theater space more like this, okay? So I need to add in, Leo, hey, buddy, I'm trying to do a tutorial. I'm trying to teach them SketchUp. Why don't you go sit here? Come sit here on your chair. Good boy. He's a good doggy. He's a good boy. Okay, Leo's now managed. Okay. This is how this drawing is actually laid out relative to what we're doing. So we're going to add in these risers. They're 14 feet wide and 3'6" deep. Okay. And there are 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. And then these chairs are on the floor. So let's add those risers in. We're going to I'm going to pick it up by the corner, and I'm actually going to use the views. Okay. So if you come here to this thing that looks like a movie, then I can just jump into top view. Okay. Ooh. snap into top view, pick up my hand tool with the H key, okay? So the thing that's going on right now is your views are set up to have a perspective on them, okay? When you click this little twirly downy thing, then you can change it to have no perspective, and now it looks like a regular ground plan, or you can give it like a wide angle lens, okay? I'm gonna leave it a little bit perspective-y, but for me, this ground plan view is super helpful because I'm used to thinking about drafting from a ground plan perspective. So I'm gonna grab my rectangle tool again, and I'm gonna add in this rectangle for the risers, just like that. First click, and then my second click is gonna be 14 feet wide and 3 foot 6 inches, okay? Okay, so you can duplicate something by drawing it again, or you can use your move tool, and that's this little movie thing, okay? And if I hold down Option, then I'm just copying something, okay? So that allowed me to just make a copy from right here to right there. So if I'm holding down Option, when I select something, I'm making copies instead of moving that something, okay? So these are my 3 risers. I'm gonna just grab my orbit tool real quick, hit the O keyboard shortcut, and I'm gonna push pull these to the proper heights using my push pull tool. That's P. So I'm gonna pull this up 8 inches, pull the next one up 16 inches, and 16, another 8. There we go. And then I'm gonna pull this one up. Oh, it's just trying to match its friend, but that's not what we want. Let's go another 8 inches. Okay, so now I've got an 8 inch, a 16 inch, and a 24 inch high riser. Sweet, okay. I'm gonna go up into my top view again using my views. Great. I'm gonna now create a riser over here for that side seating section. If you notice in this drafting, there's a little seating riser over here as well. It doesn't have a specific measurement on it. I'm not going to worry too much about that. I'm just going to make a copy of this riser and plop it in right over here. Okay, so let's do that. So this is the one I want. I'm going to grab my move tool just like I did before. It's probably keyboard shortcut M. Don't know. Let's see what happens if I'm in the O. Yeah, M. Keyboard shortcut M, like you would expect. I'm going to hold down Option, so I'm making a copy of something instead of doing the other thing. And then I'm going to just pop it over here. Bing. And now I'm going to rotate it. Now I select the top of that object. Okay. I'm going to just make a handle by clicking someplace else on it and rotate it straight up and down. Beautiful. All right, now I'm going to grab my space bar so I can grab that object again. I'm going to grab the move tool by hitting M, and I'm going to move it into this corner. Okay, it doesn't snap because SketchUp is not precise. So now when I grab my orbit tool again, we'll see what we got. Okay, so it gave me the rectangle, but not the riser, okay? It's just a flat on the ground rectangle, but that's okay. I could just grab my push-pull tool and raise it up to 8 inches, and it's great. It's done. Okay, cool. So now I've got my risers. Last thing I need to add to this is a chair for the audience to sit in, some seating so that we can all kind of see what's going on, okay? And this is my last step. So I'm gonna go, oh no, not instructor. I'm gonna go to the 3D warehouse, okay? So this pile of cubes opens up the 3D warehouse right here, and I want what's called a banquet chair. Okay. Yeah, one like this. Let's see. There it is. It's a whole stack of them. Okay. So there it is. There's one and a whole stack. I'm gonna delete the stack part and just use that one chair. So let's double click, and that puts me inside of it, and then I can maybe, yeah. Oh boy, too far. So now that I'm in it, I can just delete that stack and it'll just be the one chair. And I can move that chair with the M tool right over here. Okay, great. So that's it. That's the whole, oh no, what have I done? It's fine. All right. Okay, so that gets me gone back into my cursor tool to get back out of there. So those are all options for your chair. We're good. We got one that's going to work. I'm going to go back into, I'm going to actually close down that components thing, go back into this top view. And I'm going to grab ye little chair, okay? Pick up my move tool, set it into the theater over here, okay? It's not facing in the right direction. So let's spin it around. My rotate tool, again, I just want to click on some part of it and spin it 180 degrees around. Then my move tool again, and we'll place it kind of where we want it. Right there. Okay, great. So I have my first chair. That's awesome. But I actually want not one, but I want like 8 chairs going across, okay? So I'm going to take my first chair. I'm going to hold Option. That's going to duplicate that chair, okay? Then I'm going to let go. As soon as I let go, I'm going to type 6 for the other 6. That's how many more chairs I need. And then I'm going to type the X key, and now I have 8 chairs going straight across, just like that, okay? We're going to now duplicate that whole set of chairs. That's not very cute. That's not what we were hoping for. Let's fix that. All right, so let's do it this way instead. All right, let's look where we're going so that we can aim correctly, okay? All right, select these chairs. Excellent. I'm gonna zoom in. I'm gonna grab my move tool. I'm gonna just move it kind of to right there. Great. So now I'm gonna make some copies of this chair. I'm gonna hold down the Option key and I'm gonna drag it up. So that it sits right in the back of that row. Cool. Now I'm gonna do a couple more rows of them. Let's see if that worked. Zoom out. Perfect. So I hit 3x because there's 3 total rows, and that put 2 more rows of chairs. Woo! You guys, we did it. We have a whole audience seating section now. Isn't that great? If you have trouble with this, it's okay. You can use all of your same tricks that we used in Vectorworks. So if you need to select a group of chairs, work on them from the side to raise them up, that's a good approach, etc., etc. Okay? So I would then go back to my top view. I would come in here with my selection tool, right? There it is. Hold down Shift, select this whole group of chairs. Okay? I'm going to grab my move tool and then hold down Option, just like I did before, to make a copy of that whole set of chairs. Maybe. There. Oh, nope. That did the whole thing. Wrong way. Option. Movie. There we go. Great. Hand tool to move my view. Okay. I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to get rid of this silly instructor. It's just confusing me. And I'm going to close this entity info too. Let's just look straight back into the top view so it's clean. I'm going to come over here to the side, grab that rotate tool, which you can't see because it's under the video of me, but I believe in you. You'll find it. It's right around. Rotate these guys around. They're all still selected, so if I grab my move tool with my M key, I can still move them. Okay. When I move them over here, you'll notice that they're in the floor. They're inside the riser. So if I use my middle mouse button to orbit temporarily, I can see they're like under the floor. That's not the best. So I'm going to grab my move tool again. And if we're looking kind of through, there they go. Okay, I can get them back up onto that riser on face like that. Okay, so when it says on face, it's telling me that that bottom point that I was kind of grabbing through the riser is now sitting on the face of the riser. And that means now they're sitting up high where they belong. I need to delete a couple of chairs here. I'll probably copy and paste some more of these chairs over here in a rotated way. And then I'll also rotate some chairs off to the other side. Okay, so that's all we got to do to get your theater ready. Once you have completed that, if class isn't over, what I would say you should do is start painting some things, okay? And that's over here in this materials tab. You have options and you can grab, I wouldn't go all the way black because it'll be harder to see edges. But if you go for like this charcoal color, it's basically a paint bucket and you can paint the theater charcoal so that we can make it feel more like a black box, and then when we go back in and add scenic elements, they'll be clearly differentiated. So that's the last step I'd have you do, and then you're going to come over here. We're going to hit save because it's always good to save, and I'm going to have you go to this little menu. Nope, not the one. Go to that little menu and you can download it. I know, it's cool, bro. You can download it and then upload it to me on Canvas. And that is your complete theater model for today. Let us know if you have questions. Bother Mr. A because he's a boss at this shit. And we will come back in and start drafting the set next time. Thanks, guys.